Hello, y'all. This is Julian Rico. This is a college football national championship prediction video. I told y'all on my update video that I would be doing this national championship prediction video. And yes, let's get to the national championship preview game. Before we head to our prediction video, I want to give a shout out to all of y'all who have followed me on these prediction videos, including from week 0 all the way to the national championship game in Atlanta, Georgia. So thank you guys for following this journey. The road ends here in Atlanta. Now let's get to these predictions. First up, we have the national championship game between the 8th ranked team, Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 7th ranked team in the country, Notre Dame, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Ohio State is a 9.5-point favorites. We're going to break down each team and how their season gone. So let's start with the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ohio State Buckeyes was established in 1890. Their conference was in the Big Ten. Stadium name was Ohio Stadium. Head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes was Ryan Day. First year in 2019 to present year. They finished the season 13-2. Their record is 13-2. They have won 8 times. The last time they've won it was 2014. Heisman winners, you got legends like Troy Smith, who won in 2006, Eddie George, 1995, Arch Griffin, 1975 and 1974, Howard Cassidy, 1955, Vic Yankovic, 1950, Les Harvardwich, 1944. And honestly, this Buckeyes team has been an incredible story this year. They came in this year with confidence. Of course, Kyle McCord goes to Syracuse, who had a great year over there in Syracuse. Then they bring in Kansas State quarterback Will Howard in the mix. They bring in Quentin Junkins in the transfer window. Jeremiah Smith to Ohio State as a freshman wide receiver. And then the biggest move was to bring in Chip Kelly to become their offensive coordinator. Now, it was an interesting move because we've been hearing that it would be Bill O'Brien taking this offensive coordinating job. Unfortunately, he decided to take the Boston College head coaching job, which left the door open for Chip Kelly to take over as the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes. Their season, it's been impressive, an impressive season. Unfortunately, those 2 losses, of course, the loss to Oregon, loss to Michigan, those were really rough losses. The most brutal loss was Oregon. The most disappointing loss was Michigan in the final week of the college football regular season. But then when we get to the playoffs, we all doubt the Buckeyes against Tennessee. They beat Tennessee in the first round. They go to the Rose Bowl, take on the Ducks. We do still think the Ducks are going to be in the national championship. Ohio State just don't care. They win that game. Then we get to the semis. They put the horns up and then horns down to beat Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns. And they have made it back to the national championship game once again. For Ryan Day, this will be his second national championship game appearance. Will Howard in his first. Travion Hendrickson, their star running back, hoping to finish his Buckeyes career with a strong note. And Jeremiah Smith, man, he's probably going to win MVP in the national championship game. And he's been one of the best freshmen wide receivers in college football. So, can the Buckeyes secure a 9th national championship game? Well, let's figure it out. But for right now, let's preview the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame was been established back in 1887, 3 years before Ohio State was been established. Their conference is independent, FBS independent. Their last conference was the ACC not long ago, or unless you can say long ago. Their stadium was Notre Dame Stadium. Jesus Christ. Head coach Marcus Freeman, and their record is 14-1. One of the best records in Notre Dame history. They are the 11th time national champions, of course. The last time they've won it was 1988. And you look at their Heisman winners, Tim Brown in 1987, John Hartzell, 1964, Paul Hornia, 1956, John Lackner, 1953, Leon Hart, 49, John Lujak, 1947, and Angelo Brettelli, 1943. Their story was interesting. It's a Cinderella team, of course, because after beating Texas A&M with a new quarterback coming in, Riley Leonard, after that win against A&M, they suffered a shocking loss to Northern Illinois in Week 2. After that loss, they got some big wins to get to the national championship game. Big wins like Louisville, of course. That was a huge win against an ACC opponent. Big win against USC in the Big Ten. Another Big Ten foe in Indiana. Then they took down the mighty Georgia Bulldogs. And then they took down, of course, another good team in the Penn State Nittany Lions. We'll probably keep an eye on Jeremiah Love, who is injured in this, who has some ankle injury, but we did see him hurdle some plays against Penn State. So that's something that could be good news. Riley Leonard, of course, the transfer guy from Duke, coming in his first year in Notre Dame. So something to keep an eye on that. And then let's give it to Greathouse, who had a big game against Penn State. And he's going to probably be a big X factor against this Ohio State defense. This is going to be a good game because, again, how is Notre Dame's offense going to be able to run the football against Ohio State's defense? And that is going to be another challenge that we're going to be seeing. And who will be going after, of course, Jeremiah Smith? We could expect Jeremiah Smith versus Benjamin Morrison. And that is something I'm looking forward to keep an eye on. But then the other one I will look at is, how's Notre Dame's defense going to be able to make some turnovers against this Buckeyes offense? Again, Notre Dame's defense is going to have to win this game by forcing turnovers against this Buckeyes offense. And this one is going to be interesting. This is a good game. This is a real good national championship game. Ohio State is a 9.5-point favorites. I'm not confident of a 9.5-point favorites, of course. But however, the Buckeyes lead the series 6-2 against Notre Dame. Remember, last year they have fought in Notre Dame Stadium, or Jesus Christ was, in a good matchup. Buckeyes won it. That was when Kyle McCord, Marvin Harrison Jr. was there. Sam Hartman was there. Buckeyes able to get that win 17-16 over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And this would be another close game. Now, Marcus Freeman will have his defense ready against that Ohio State offense. Here is where I am right now. This is going to be a fun game. Of course, this is being played in Atlanta. I am going to be taking the Ohio State Buckeyes. Here is why. I still believe this Buckeyes team, the way they perform, started against the win against Tennessee, then the win against Oregon, then an impressive defensive performance against Texas. That is bringing that momentum to the national championship game against Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Score of the game, I'm going to go 28-20. I think it's an 8-point win, and the Buckeyes will be your national champions. That is it for today, folks. And one more thing before we send this off. I want to again thank you who have followed me on this incredible journey for this college football regular season, and we'll keep that. We'll hope we do this again next season. Again, like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more info. If you have not seen my wild card update video, you should check that out in the channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.